Yes. The chat is here. We are good. How's it going? We've got DJ Oi Mac in VR. How you doing, man? Congratulations on
all the boys
12K.
in the chat.
Yeah, all the boys are in the chat. Yeah, JBR. Got PD. PD, how can I see him?
He's in there.
I know, but
he's always in there.
I never used to be able to see his comments, and now I can see him.
Yeah, he's there, mate. He's there.
That's crazy. How did that change? I wonder what we did. Mate, I've been fighting this fight for ages with YouTube, and so was PD.
He's finally subscribed. He finally gave in.
All he needed to do was unsubscribe and subscribe
exactly.
again. Crazy.
Exactly.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us today for the State of Play. No idea how much of a waste of time or like an incredible event this would be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could go one or two ways, really. It really is a bit unpredictable. And the thing is, like, it's a 30-minute show.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, the PSVR part of it will probably be relatively small, maybe like 5 minutes max. That's what I'm guessing. So just to sort of like maybe temper people's expectations a little bit. I'm not expecting to see release date. I'm not expecting to know price. All I think is they'll tease a few games, they'll get us a little bit tingly, and then they'll sign off.
I'm kind of the person who wants all that stuff, obviously, and I sort of dream it, like, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to get 20 minutes in and it's going to be just 10 minutes. But one thing,
I think it's going to be less than 10 minutes.
One thing PlayStation's been really good with recently, I believe, is not leading people on. Do you know what I mean? They've been like, there is no VR in this one. There is no, and I kind of think if they're going to tell people that this is going to be about PSVR, I think it's going to be something worth our time. That's kind of what I mean.
Do you think they might hint at release date or release window at least? No. Because like the rumors suggest right now is going to be Q1 2023, right? And that's mainly the rumor is, and the general consensus is that that's due to the lack of PS5s out in the wild, because they've been like practically impossible to get hold of since launch, and they want to make sure that they've got an established install base, so when they sell this accessory, which essentially is what it is, they want to have the maximum install base possible for this accessory to do well when it goes on sale. So, you know, I think that now that they're kind of ramping up production a little bit and they're going to get PS5s out over the holiday period, then push it for early next year release.
Are you worried that the same thing happened with PSVR2 that happened with PS5? Like, where, you know, you obviously remember it, £900, £1,000. You can't get anywhere. You know, I still get messages today about how to get them. And just to quickly chuck it in there, Twitter is a really good ally to have if you're trying to get tech. I personally, like, I know my GPU and my PS5s, I wouldn't have got without Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I say that they were almost impossible to get hold of. You know, I got hold of one, you got hold of one. I think if you really wanted one, you would find one, or you'd pay over the odds a little bit for a scalper, even though it was, you know, you didn't want to. You could get hold of one if you really wanted one. And that's one of the things I see a lot when I talk about PSVR, because I'm really excited about it, and I know you are as well. But when we talk about it and we get excited about it, people go, oh yeah, you still can't find a PS5. And that is kind of true. You're not going to walk into a Best Buy or a PC World or a Curry's or whatever, wherever you are in the world. You're not going to find one on the shelf. But if you want one that badly, you can find one.
My local game, for example, if I walked in there to get one, chances are, I don't know what the odds would be, there wouldn't be one. But because I follow them on Twitter,
exactly,
they would say, I've got 4 in today, and within a couple of hours they're gone. You know, so it's one of them. How we're doing, Beast of the Yeast. How do you feel about yeast, Mike? Are you happy with yeast? Like, my mum's allergic to yeast, so she would be probably allergic to the beast.
Mate, if I was allergic to yeast, I think I would just die, because that means no bread, and I love bread so much.
You can get what? You can get, like, is it soda bread?
No, mate. It's all about the white bread for me.
Beast of the Yeast. He's the guy. He comes along and gives out the yeast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of his.
I'm glad he's here.
Yeah. But yeah, like me and you have been big fans of the PlayStation 5, because like I said, we both got one on launch. We've been enjoying some of the exclusive titles.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been playing more PS5 this year than I have my PC.
Really?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Not
definitely.
with VR. Do you mean like flat? Like you're not about VR?
Flat,
obviously.
yeah, of course. Yeah. All my VR stuff is generally PC or on Quest.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when it comes to playing flat games, I think I prefer it because it's a more. It does help that it's in a more chilled out environment for me. So it's downstairs. I can sit on the sofa. I can play it. Whereas up here is kind of like, it's an awesome PC, but it is kind of like my work area. So I kind of, I don't want to spend too much time up here, so I can spend time with the family and play it as well. But like playing like Returnal, Elden Ring. We both got into Elden Ring. They were superb games on the PS5. And Gran Turismo 7 as well. I've been really enjoying that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to them bringing that sort of quality of game to VR, because we've been around long enough that in the early days of PC VR, we had some really like banging titles, but you needed a gaming PC to run them. Games like Stormland and Asgard's Wrath, Marvel Powers United.
Yeah.
They all looked amazing. They all looked great. Some of them weren't necessarily great games, but they looked really good. And then obviously we had this period where we pushed to standalone VR, which, I think did amazing things for the VR market, raised awareness of VR and got VR into people's hands. But you had to suffer that visual downgrade, and the quality of the games did take a hit as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to, with PlayStation, them bringing back sort of like really good looking VR games, and hopefully with a bit more meat on the bone as well that we can get our teeth into.
What I'm looking forward to more than anything with this headset is the haptics. And because I think when we talk about PS5, and I got an Xbox as well, which I'm actually thinking about selling now. It was all really down to this controller is what wowed me more than anything. Obviously it's lovely to have high frame rates, but this controller is fantastic. And I do tend to think, even though I do think the headset to me, it's like going to be like a triple hit. Do you know what I mean? You're going to have that headset with the haptics. You're going to have those controllers, and then you're going to have an extra bit of it. Like the FOV is going to be wider. Chances are, if it's anything like PSVR, it's going to be bloody comfortable. I don't, yeah. And that's what I think. I think to myself, like, this is going to be one of the biggest. I think this might be the biggest wave of VR's had. I do. That's how much I think I value PSVR. I think PSVR2 is going to be the biggest splash yet.
I hope you're right. I do think that Quest 2 will still dominate without question.
Really?
Just because, yeah. I think that there's no way that PSVR 2 will outsell Quest. I don't think so.
I would put some money on that. But you've got to have a time frame, because if you're talking about Quest 2, in my mind, is nearly coming to the end of its life. I think within the next year you're going to have a new model.
Yeah, but I still think it will dominate, because just due to the price range, there's a big difference between £300, $300. Then you've got to you're probably going to have to pay £400, $400 for the PSVR2 headset alone. Then you've got to get a console on top of that. It's a big ask. And I think that's why, the Quest 2 is so popular with a younger audience, because it is everything in one.
Yeah.
You don't need a TV in your room. You've got a gaming console and this amazing, like, immersive media viewer strapped to your face at the same time. But I think, it's a big ask for someone to pay out for a console and a headset. It's going to be cheaper than PC VR, but you're talking, only a few £100 off potentially. So yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. I think it's definitely going to hit home with enthusiasts like us that want, like, that beefier VR content to play that looks amazing. And I think it's going to fill that gap where we've kind of lost the PC VR side of things. But I do think that Quest 2 will still continue to dominate, and this will kind of be like I think it will be like a 70-30 split. So 70% towards Quest, 30% towards PSVR 2. I think it's going to be amazing, but it's going to be more niche within the VR community, I think.
What I see happening personally is I've only really seen Meta at game shows, or Oculus at the time, once really making a splash. As I've seen Sony set up amazing booths and stuff, and really clever ways of having a social screen facing away from the player. So when you walk past the booth, you see the player with the headset on, and you can see what they're seeing. I think brands will drive sales of PSVR2 more than ever. This time round, I think the popularity of PSVR, of PS5, the popularity of the fact they have I know if there's Xbox fans, I apologise, but they have dominated, I think, so far. And I think when you then go, I just think the IPs, and I know people don't really like, exclusives, but I think exclusives are going to be what wins this. And I'm not saying Meta's going to be down or Quest 2 is going to be down. I'm hoping it's a 50-50, personally. But in VR at the moment, like, how many times have you played a game now on Quest or PC and gone, oh, this game's like Mario Kart, but it's called dash dash, and that's the difference. That's the difference. When we label these games like Pavlov is Call of Duty, well, actually, fuck that. We actually will have Call of Duty. Like, that's what I think is different. And that's where I think that when God of War happens or something like that, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I see happening. I see that domination happening because of known brands, Sony Q&A.
Yeah.
And but I definitely don't think Meta's going to be, Quest's going to be going anywhere.
No. I like I said, I still think they're going to be leading the pack for a long time. But yeah, I think, when it comes to like high quality gaming titles and known IPs, then PlayStation is going to be where it's at. And you got to remember as well, like, PlayStation are the ones that fund so much money into advertising. Whenever you go to the cinema, for example, you always see like PlayStation ads. So they're going to be
Skyrim. Do you remember Skyrim?
Yeah. They always have banging ads. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to them pushing these like PSVR 2 ads out there. But I think you're right. And I think with them, like, the whole strategy from what we understand so far is like hybrid titles. So you'll have games that will, be played. You can play them flat or you can play them in VR. So Gran Turismo 7 is a good potential example of that. So you can play it on a TV, it will look amazing, or you can play it in VR with a PSVR 2 and it'll be really immersive. Potentially with Resident Evil Village as well, same deal. And I think that's going to be a really interesting play, and PlayStation are really the only ones that can pull that off.
Yeah.
And I think as well, it's not as risky for developers. So I think in some ways I'm all for this kind of strategy because we're going to get these bigger games, I think. But I don't think that these hybrid games will play as well or feel as well as a game that's built from the ground up specifically to be played in VR.
Yeah. So
I think
what you're kind of describing is like a Luke Ross mod. Kind of. But then, as we had a discussion privately the other day because we ring each other while walking our dogs or something.
Yeah.
About tracked controllers. Can these be tracked in VR? Now, I don't think they can, but Mike thinks they could be. So, in my mind, even though games will be hybrid and they're using these new DualSense controllers or whatever they're called, I can't remember what the new controllers are called.
What is it? Is it RealSense?
I don't know. Touch something, I imagine. I don't know. But whatever the PSVR2 controller is going to be, I think they're still going to be mapped to those regardless. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, I would like... the thing is, I think that's the big question for me, aside from like when we're going to get it and the price.
And the price. I was going to say we should dive into the price quickly soon, just to see. So, I know a lot of people want to talk about that.
But the other thing is, like, how are they going to handle the backwards compatibility? Because we've got this vast library of PSVR content already.
Yeah.
Like Moss, Beat Saber, Static, Blood and Truth, Iron Man. We got some of these fantastic titles that would, I definitely want to play them again on a higher resolution headset with better tracking and better motion controls this time. So really the question is going to be how they handle that back catalog. Are they going to be giving the tools to devs to make these controllers compatible with the old systems? I really don't know how they're going to manage this. And like you say, with the controller, games that used the DualShock previously, because it was tracked, are they going to be able to do that with the new controller somehow? Because like we said the other day, it does have a kind of like a U-shaped light around the touchpad in the middle. Maybe the inside-out tracking of the PSVR 2 will be able to detect what's going on with that and maybe utilize that in some way in conjunction with like gyroscopes and stuff like that that's built into the controller maybe.
Yeah, I would love that. I wouldn't mind if a game is only playable in VR with using a controller. I know, because I've done it so much now, I've seen comments where people are like, if it's not full VR, like if I'm not leaping across the room, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I get that. But when I played Elden Ring the other day, quite a restrictive experience, really. You know, like I'm even having to press the space bar to fucking recenter sometimes. But being in that world visually is still incredible.
And for me as well, like one of the mods that I played recently was, I played Resident Evil 8 Village on the channel, but one that I just played privately for fun on my own was Resident Evil 7, but it was the DLC. I don't know if you've ever played the DLC of Resident Evil 7.
Is it the guy, the uncle with the Mega Fist thing?
No, so I don't know what that is.
So the best DLC is the one. Is it Eve or something? And basically you get like a robot fist.
Oh, that's mental.
It's amazing. It's the best DLC of Resident Evil 7. But anyway, I want to ruin your one now.
So the one that I played is part of the banned footage DLC, and you play a mode called 21, and you basically you're in this room and you've got one hand tied to the chair and another hand in like a kind of saw type contraption that has like a guillotine for each one of your fingers, and you basically play against another guy that's been captured and held against his will, and you play with one of the Baker family's sons called Lucas. And you basically play blackjack.
Lucas. Oh,
he is. But instead of playing with money, you play with your fingers. So basically you gamble your fingers, and if you lose, they chop your fingers off. And again, it was just a seated experience. You play it with a controller, a gamepad. But it was awesome. It was such a cool experience because you can look around the room freely. It was great.
There we are. There we go. I had 2 states of plays going.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard it. I've heard of it, but I've never tried it.
We got Boy Brown VR in the chat. I'm in a pub toilet trying to watch this, but my mate won't leave me alone. Just get rid of your mates.
You don't need them.
Boy Brown, you don't need them. You just need us.
Them, mate. Yeah, that's
Chill out with us.
BB, how's it going? How is everyone in the chat? Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you hanging out with us today. In case you don't know, that is Mike from the VR Oasis.
Hello.
I'm sure you all do. Let's have a quick look around. So one of the chats that we was talking about was price, and I get in this a lot in DMs because I'll come out and say $450. That's where I think it'd be, $450. And the reply is normally, well, what you're saying to me is that it's going to cost someone £900 to £1,000 for the complete setup. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, I think $450 for the console, $450 for the headset, £900. It sounds a lot. It is a lot. But I also think it's a good 2, 3, hopefully even longer, 4 years of a life cycle of VR with a console.
The thing is as well, like with Quest, it's £300. This is going to be way more. It's going to be £400 or £500, I think, because you've got to think about the specs that they're pushing into this headset. We're almost 2000 by 2000 pixels per eye, which is a little bit higher. It can go up to 120 hertz. Obviously, the Quest 2 can do that as well. But like you say, with the built-in haptics that's built into the headset, you've got the amazing audio that's being pushed from the PS5 as well. Eye tracking, that's a lot of tech. And with the eye tracking, what we don't really know is how they're going to leverage that with like foveated rendering, like dynamic foveated rendering, where they just render the middle of what your eye is seeing at the highest possible clarity, and then everything else in the peripheral is kind of at a slightly lower resolution to boost the performance. So that's going to be really interesting as well if they can pull that off. But yeah, there's a lot of tech jammed into this headset. And I know
and it's wired, isn't it? Like a lot of people it's wired, but
a lot of people concerned about it's wired. But I think it's a decent trade-off for what you're getting. I think being wireless is a big ask, and the Quest 2, it does it well. It doesn't do it brilliantly. I think the next generation Quest will do it even better with like maybe Wi-Fi 6. But yeah, it's a big ask. I think if you had this headset wireless, you've then got to put in batteries. You've then got to put in some decent Wi-Fi tech. It's going to make it much more expensive, and it's going to be much heavier as well. So I think for me personally, I'll take the trade-off of a wire.
With all that tech as well. Like, it's ahead of its time in some other ways, and that's the trade-off for me. I think a wire, but loads of other new stuff. You know what I mean? That I've never experienced eye tracking personally. I've never used a headset with eye tracking.
I've never tried it in a gaming scenario. I've tried it in like a kind of like a business marketing style demo where you look at a shop shelf and you know you kind of like look at the different products on the shelf and they can kind of analyze that data to see which products stand out on the shelf. But yeah, I've never used it in like a proper gaming sense, so that's gonna be really interesting. We got Matt from BMF in the chat. Hello Matt, how you doing, dude?
How's it going? Sir Paper, Rocksteady, Loudsfire, Technoglitch, my transcription. How you doing? Thank you. I'm really glad you've checked us out. Thanks for joining. Rocksteady, the VR Realm. Thanks to all the channel members and patrons for joining. How you doing? Hello D. THS VR. How you doing? Mr. Trinidad. Sir Real Deal. He's our pizza maker in Discord. Like, that guy just makes pizzas like most days. I'm Hot
Amazing.
G. How you doing? Good to see you all. Good to see you all. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Backwards compatibility. I didn't want to get away from that. So we had a conversation about this the other day, and I think it won't happen. Personally, I'm not saying it won't happen. Not in a big sense. I do think Moss Book 2 will get the PSVR 2. Will you pay for it? Because at the moment, sometimes you pay for an upgrade. I actually do think you could say goodbye to your library. I do, because
I think that would be a big mistake. Imagine if they did that with Quest 2, for example. Like, you could only, you couldn't carry over your library from Quest 1.
This is such a different time now. Like, when
I don't know.
There's a lot of people who were in PSVR who aren't here now.
So I don't. Another reason why I don't think they'll abandon backwards compatibility with PSVR is because over the last 6 months they've kind of been drip feeding PSVR titles into PS Plus. So if you're a PS Plus member, you got some PSVR games. I can't remember which ones exactly. I think Farpoint was in there at one point, and some other PSVR games as well. Like, I think Firewall was part of it as well, actually. So they're kind of drip feeding you content without you really knowing. So the kind of what I think they might leverage is that they'll say, well, people will say, well, I've got a PS5. If I buy a PSVR 2, that's going to be like, £400 or £500, but I don't have any games to play. And then be like, well, if you've been a PS Plus member for the last 2 years, then actually, little Jimmy, you've got 5 PSVR games in your library already that you can play on your headset.
Good old little Jimmy. Little Jimmy. I hope. Dude, I just don't think that'll happen personally, because as I said to you the other day, I think development teams are too small. I think they won't know what the comeback will be for them. If you update a game that's already purchased on a previous generation, are they going to make it free? Like, if you said to them, pay a $5,
it has to be free.
Pay $5, and if it's free, what is the incentive?
It has to be free, because the incentive is new users.
But wouldn't it be better for them just to say, yeah, this is part 2? Or something? No. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't know. Do you know what I'd love to see Phantom Covert Ops on PSVR 2. I think that'd be bloody excellent. I love that.
I think Oculus paid for that title, though.
Yeah, it hasn't got
And the thing is, but then again, saying that, I thought Fract was PlayStation exclusive, because I thought PlayStation had paid for that, but it did eventually come to PC.
Yeah.
So I was wrong there. But let's talk about some games then, because you shared a leak on Twitter the other day of like kind of like a roll call of content that might be showed during State of Play. And there were some games on there. One of them was Modern Warfare 2. Yes. That was the one that stood out for me, because like
that stood out for everyone.
Yeah, so that they reckon, or according to that leak and some other rumors that I've heard, that Modern Warfare 2 will have a VR mode, but it will be exclusive to PlayStation.
Wow.
But the game will be available on other consoles, but the VR mode will be exclusive to PlayStation.
So you're talking about a full VR mode?
Yeah, full VR mode. No, not experiences. None of that experience bullshit that they pulled off with the
previous. This is what I expect, though. I expect, like, today you're going to see, like, some guy in the back of a truck with a minigun.
No.
And that's going to be our COD.
And although it is a leak, and I'm very skeptical, and I think it's probably highly unlikely, it is a game like that I think would attract, like, a much bigger audience.
Yeah, exactly.
For this headset.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Instead of like all the game, not saying at the moment, I think Contractors and Pavlov in particular are two of my favourites. Contractors at the moment, I think, is absolutely smashing it with what they're doing, and I need to get you in there, because we spoke about it the other day. And I need to get you in there. He's really good.
Yeah.
But ultimately, people are like, Call of Duty. It's the most known first person. Imagine doing Call of Duty Warzone in VR.
Yeah.
Like, going to the gulag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so amazing.
It would be epic.
It would be.
It would be epic. The only game that we know for sure that we're going to see during this event is Horizon Call of the Mountain.
Yeah. And that to me is more of a showpiece for the headset and the tech. You know,
you think that's more of an experience than a game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I personally think it's not going to be a game. I want to be wrong most of the time. I think it's going to be a tech demo. An amazing tech demo. And, you know, but it depends, because, I mean, if it isn't, that would make sense as well, because PSVR last time launched with PSVR Worlds, which still to this day I would pick up and play.
Yep.
PSVR Worlds is fantastic. What did you have? You had the downhill luge. You had the shark experience.
The best one was the London gangster one when he's like right up in
London
your face.
heist. Yeah,
that was awesome.
That's what I mean. Like that one experience of sitting in the van with that bald guy in 2016.
It was like you were sitting next to me.
That's what sold it to me. I was actually saying lines to him from a movie. Snatch.
Like,
I was like messing. Because I thought it felt like I was sitting next to this guy. I remember like thinking, I've said it loads of times. I probably haven't said it for a long time, but I remember opening the door in the van and thinking, now this is weird, because normally in like GTA, say I'd happily just press a button and roll out for a laugh.
But you wouldn't do it.
But I'm looking at the road flying by and I'm like, yeah, fuck that, and close the door. And yeah, that's what sold me on VR, dude. I was just like, oh man, it's going to be amazing.
But I think that maybe what games would you like to see? I'll start with like my top 3. The ones that I would love to see: Astrobot 2. I'm even repping my little Astrobot t-shirt.
Man. Yeah, legit.
He's my boy.
Yeah.
Firewall 2. You know, I think Firewall was an amazing shooter, and it still has a dedicated fan base today, which is incredible. So I'd love to see a sequel for that, and Blood and Truth 2 as well. So you know, a trio of sequels there. Blood and Truth was one of my favorite games of that year when it released. I thought it was amazing. It was one of the first games in VR that I really truly felt like I was in a movie.
Yeah.
In a movie with these characters. You know, Half-Life Alyx is an incredible game as well, and maybe we might see that ported to PSVR2, but Blood and Truth really felt like being in a film with all the music and everything going on.
Even now, like if you jump in, I know like you've got a low resolution, but the graphics are still really good. You know, the quality and the shadows, and so even though the resolution's low and stuff, it can look like, you know, a bit blurry.
Yeah.
The actual quality of the images there are great, you know. And
that's the thing. It's the original headset that's holding it back. It's not the games.
And the moves.
Yeah, of course.
And the moves. So I'm going to jump on the back of yours. You've nailed Firewall. Like, to me, and I remember at launch, that game changed my life. I could not stop playing it. Yeah. Astrobot, I remember playing the demo of that. There was a demo somehow. Was that part of PSVR Worlds or something?
There was an Astro experience with PSVR Worlds,
and I still remember to this day playing it and saying to my wife, if they made this into a full game, it'd be one of the best platformers in the world. Like, because when you walk through the reeds and stuff like that, and they went right, you know, and obviously they really, really went over the top on Astro. The only thing I found about Astro was it stopped. Unfortunately, it stopped. You know, I wanted it to keep going. I wanted more levels. I'd love to see a new Wipeout. Because Wipeout to me is still one of my favourites. I'd love to see a Grand Theft Auto. I know we've got it on Quest, but I'd love to see that. They're some of my favourite franchises. Gran Turismo.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I heard the possibility of Killzone coming back, like that was some brilliant shit. Like against the Hellcast and.
It's been a long time as well. It's been a long time.
What was the last game? What was the last game? It wasn't actually on console. It was on a. It was a
PS4. It was a PS4 launch title.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't very well received.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
though. Damn,
beautiful game.
On that were crazy.
But yeah, like Killzone was really cool. And yeah, if they brought it back exclusive to VR, that would be an absolute banger. Like if we got a glimpse of something like that, maybe Gran Turismo. We've only got a couple of minutes to wait, so I'm getting hyped already.
That's it. Thank you ever so much to everyone for joining us. I hope you're hitting that like button. I hope you're subscribing if you haven't already. I don't know if Matt was here earlier. I just want to congratulate him on hitting 12,000 subs, man. Congratulations. It's not an easy game, YouTube, for some of us, and keep it up, man. Keep it up. DKVR, how you doing? Astrobot 2 will sell headsets, period. Ooh, nice.
A lot of people are saying about the aim controller with Firewall. I don't think that the aim controller will be compatible with PSVR 2, but I think...
It's light-based, isn't it? Light-based track, so probably not.
You'll have these independent moving controllers, but I think companies like ProTube will likely make an accessory that you can lock them into a stock and have that kind of aim experience, but with the new controllers. That's my guess anyway.
Yeah, Loudfire City played Killzone 2 again yesterday. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Killzone, man, what an awesome franchise.
Silent Hill. Silent Hill in VR. Like, all this stuff. There's so many great things that could happen. Adam Hartzell says PSVR 2 price reveal tonight. I honestly don't think you're going to get any information tonight. I think this is going to be the first proper glimpse of actually some games. That's what I think is going to happen. But I'm going to quickly transition over.
Yeah, we got 20 seconds to go. That is it.
Show.
But like we said at the beginning, just bear in mind that the PSVR section of this show is likely going to be relatively small and possibly near the end. So
yeah,
we're going to have some flat games to get through first.
Yeah, hopefully they're good. So I'm just going to turn up the show.
I'm hyped for flat games as well, to be honest.
There we go. I love the console anyway. The look of the console's great.
Interesting. Date.
Yeah. Was it 24th of the 3rd? Well, I'll go all funny. I know it's probably not VR, but I'm like...
The thing is, we're gamers as well. We're not just VR gamers. Oh.
Resident Evil 4. The leak was partly true.
Gondor Wonder Roost. I've located Baby Eagle.
No way, dude. That looks sick. Dude, holy shit. Look how good that looks.
One of my favourite games of all time, Resident Evil 4. And the VR version so far is the best version.
Oh, dude, no freaking way. Look how good that looks.
Oh, it looks sick, mate. Look at his hair.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
It looks darker.
I'm pumped already. I'm pumped already.
That looks darker, doesn't it?
Yeah. Meta are going to be kind of pissed, I think, because, you know, like, they remade it.
Forget what happened that night.
Now these guys remade it.
The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
Oh, dude, that looks so good.
Does look really good. What a way to start. Oh shit, dude!
Yes, boy!
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying,
mate. The thing is, Meta are going to be pissed because they just remade Resident Evil 4 as well, and if this is another remake, but it looks 10 times better and it's in VR as well, holy crap.
PlayStation VR2 content.
Holy crap.
Now let's get a
Village is going to get VR support as well.
PSVR2, look.
PlayStation VR2.
Yeah, boy. Yes.
Now, let's take a look at him. Wow. Well, Ethan,
I already know exactly how this feels. We both do.
escaped my little brother's idiot.
I think she's pretty sexy. Oh, Mr. GT's in the chat.
Busted.
Yes, mother.
Step on me, vampire lady.
D, I'm so excited. my god, this is going to be so good.
Man blood.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
Dual wielding.
Dual wield.
That's the thing, you couldn't do that on PC.
Pistol and shotgun. Fucking hell, what an opener! See? That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be rubbish. Where's Boy Brown? Has he got all his mates out the toilet? Oh.
Mate, started off banging, and then we got another PSVR2 title here. Wow.
You, of all people, have the audacity to question me.
This Dying Light too?
I wanted to think that.
Who emerged from the putrid waters of the
Oh no, this is
Walking Dead.
to plunder
Walking Dead.
our righteous gains and cut our throats like a demon in the night. What have you done to ensure the future of this forsaken
Skydance
city?
did such an exceptional job with this game.
Considering how old it is, it's still
who have brought nothing
it's top.
but chaos.
Like,
And the thing is, it's going to look like this as well on PSVR2.
When death was swallowing this city whole, it was I who resurrected it. It was I who shined as a beacon of hope for all. The tower cries out for blood.
Oh,
and
mate.
I vow to spill it. When the bells ring, the song they sing will be righteous.
Three zombie titles though.
Welcome home,
Need a bit more variety up in here, but I'm happy with the three so far.
yeah. I do agree, though. I do agree. You can't just have violence. But, oh, hello.
No Man Sky? Yeah.
Yeah. I know so many people who will now lose their shit over this bit. To know this is happening. But have they got to buy it again?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
This game has come such a long way. The journey of this game is insane. What's it going to say? Free upgrade?
It will be. They've been really good with the updates. Here we go.
There.
Call of the Mountain.
Where are you taking me?
God, it's gorgeous.
I asked you a question. Everyone says Reyes is a good shot.
Yeah, and he'll put arrows through both of us. You're switching with me.
It's a snap mob. We're not gonna make it.
Ooh.
Blameless Murad had me released from prison. But why?
Redemption is still possible, Reyes. Climb the mountain.
Mate, that looks beautiful.
Find out why the machines are attacking.
I think I'm wrong.
It does look more like a game than it does look like
really
an experience.
Yeah. I mean, I want to hear the words. I want to hear them say, "This is so long. This is," you know.
Do that, and you shall be a free man. It will take all your wits, your skills, and courage. You have walked in the shadows.
I'm impressed, dude.
Now it is time to climb into the light.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Those things are going to look so huge and intimidating.
Hi, I'm Ben McCaw, Narrative Director at Guerrilla.
Hello, Ben.
I hope you enjoyed your first look at Horizon Call of the Mountain, coming exclusively to PlayStation VR 2. We're also happy to announce that a big update to Horizon Forbidden West, including New Game Plus, will be available to download on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 today.
I still need to finish that game.
This might be the transition from VR kind of thing.
For details on this free update, please check out PlayStation Blog. From all of us at Guerrilla, thank you for your continued support, and please stay tuned for more updates to come.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. For sport, he's doing curtains as well. Like, fair play.
Bold
Get
move.
ready, a PlayStation fan favorite is coming to PC.
Yeah, see, I think this might be the transition.
You don't think any more VR from this point on?
I want more, obviously, but
these past few years, want more. Sacrificing so much and asking for nothing.
What a start.
If you want to change the world,
Spider-Man's coming to PC.
You have to be the kind of man
that's cool.
who can make the hardest decisions.
I still haven't finished it.
Do you really need 2 of those?
You are everything that's wrong with this city!
Brilliant games.
I think you finished them both, didn't you?
Yeah. They're very good games. They're amazing. Insomniac are
You just
incredible.
push people around like that.
Just ask for help next time.
Time to bring back the glory days.
It's a half-hour-long show, guys, so let's just hang on, see what happens.
Did you just leave your clothes on the kitchen floor?
I didn't expect them to come out the gates with PSVR2 stuff. That did surprise me.
Yeah, same.
Oh, this is straight. I really like the look of this game.
Yeah, same. I was asking about this game the other day on Twitter. It was like it just disappeared.
Yeah.
It does interest me.
Just looks something like really different, really unique, and a purer.
Does look good, guys. This does look good.
No, I think I was wrong. They haven't done a VR game.
Oh, dude, it's just over a month away.
Explore a mysterious cyber city in Stray, coming to PS5 and PS4 July 19th.
That's not far.
Unfortunately, we haven't got a cat
PlayStation Plus Extra
emoji.
members and higher can download Stray at no extra cost when it launches next month. Up next, 3 games that will get your heart racing.
PS Plus Extra.
I don't know enough about that. I need to look into that. BMF, we just see if it keeps going, see if there's more. I know what you're saying, guys. Boy Brown's dropped a 4 out of 10 on it so far. How can you have all that Call of Duty talk?
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto
the funny thing is, I'm happy to play through Resident Evil 4 again in VR.
Just like you would have been if
I love that game.
you out of that wreck.
This is giving me Dead Space vibes.
I was just going to say, I thought it was for a second there, Dead Space. The remake looks fantastic.
That's your old life. You gotta let that go.
I recognise that guy.
Because your new life is entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance at rebirth.
Mr. Lord Beaver says they will save the best till last. This looks really good.
It looks freaking awesome, dude.
I love games like this.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I love games like this.
I just love that last part.
A game where you need to order in some adult diapers, you know?
Whatever this is, dude, I'm in. So
same.
Gives me chills every time.
Oh,
man, it looks brutal.
Stomping on someone's head. Love it. What is this? Callisto.
The Callisto Protocol. December.
Nice.
That's
Christmas time sorted there, my son. You know what I mean? If we can get a minute around VR.
In the year 2030, a new blood sport grips the globe. And in the arena, there will only be the victorious and the dead.
I love art styles like this. Cell shading, I love it. And I love roller skating.
Like Max Payne on roller skates.
Yeah, that's true. That's box quote. That's box quote. Nice fucking ricochet bullets.
It is, isn't it? It's like Tony Hawk meets Max Payne.
Jet Set Radio, violent version.
The world is watching in Rollerdrome.
Rollerdrome.
Not really my cup of tea, that one, but looks pretty cool.
Sometimes I wonder if things will ever be normal again.
Oh, Jesus.
Might be with Akira, where he lost his arm. Well, this is cool. That's pretty cool.
The world hasn't ended yet. It's not hopeless. I won't let anyone else get hurt!
I think these games look cool, but I don't really play them. I don't really play things like this, you know.
No.
Oh, ew! I'm going to miss them.
I look forward to seeing what you can do.
If you're an anime fan, then you're gonna love this, aren't you? But like
This is Survivor.
It's not really my bag either.
This is Survivor. Said Max Payne 1 and 2 are getting a full remake from Remedy this year.
That'd be epic.
Max Payne 1, dude, I played the shit out of that for so long.
I think Max Payne 3 was my favourite, though.
Have you taken notes of what's been announced so far?
Yes.
Good man. Because someone wants.
I even did it on my little PlayStation pen.
Right. So at the end, we're going to recap, in case anyone come in late.
Yeah, we can do that.
Action games and dating sims collide in Eternites, coming to PS5 and PS4 next year. Let's check back in with Capcom for a new look at an upcoming heavy hitter.
Oh,
Capcom.
Yeah, Street Fighter. I used to be such a big fan of Street Fighter.
When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending. Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. If you want to start off on the right foot in this city, hit the streets.
Yeah, hey there, I do this.
Love it.
And when I get up in the game, y'all improve. A real problem, but I solve them all face proof. And if you think I'm going forward, then you told me fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. I done aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging on.
That was New York.
What
What the hell?
It seems like it's a Street Fighter game, but...
Do you remember when Tekken used to have like the side-scroller version of the game? You run around like a campaign.
Yeah.
And that's where you got the chicken. Like that was the hit and it went chicken. I used to love that. It's where you've got a massive moustache. Chun-Li's still fit. Her thighs, man, are amazing. Wormsworth, thank you ever so much. He says, good show, gentlemen.
Thank you, mate.
Versus.
Let me have some fun.
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight.
Like Chun-Li looks like, I mean, like Ryu looks like you.
But what is this though? I don't get what this is. It's like they're announcing extra characters for something. Or something. I don't know. What Ryu, Chun-Li and all that would have been in the game anyway, surely. I'm confused. Oh, this game looks amazing. Hadouken! Oh!
This is our destiny. My secret art.
Oh, the neck grab. Yes!
Nice.
Damn, dude. I do think Ryu has copied my beard, though.
He definitely has.
Yeah, you know that, the beard VR, dude. You know that about Chun-Li. Absolutely. Do you remember the anime, the manga of Chun-Li and Vega? The fight scene. Oh, Mike!
That was your first look at Street Fighter 6.
So good.
Mark your calendars. It comes to PS5 and PS4 in 2023. Now it's time for 2 indie
Tunic was
adventures
awesome,
arriving
man.
later this year.
I'm playing this on Steam Deck, actually.
I need to get this. You've told me, like, it's brilliant.
Beautiful.
Is it like Zelda?
Yeah, it's like Zelda. It's like the perfect game to play on Steam Deck. Just the art style, so clean. Another great one that's kind of similar to this is Death's Door. That game was phenomenal as well. Very similar sort of art style.
Death's Door.
Death's Door.
Death's Door.
Yeah. Yeah, Tunic. This was one that Eric Hartley recommended to me, and yeah, it's a banger. Still playing it on Steam Deck.
I might have to get it on Steam Deck then. That's quite a way away. If I get some time. How long we got left? 7 minutes.
She set out to record life at
They're going to be saving something epic for the end, aren't they?
To make it real for people in the future.
I hope so.
She asked us about living together.
Danica in the chat says Tunic was my game of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, totally deserves that kind of recognition, definitely.
What will remain?
Izzo, I think so.
Only what she saw. What she
For the online side of it, I think.
She carries the sounds of the season with her.
Artful says finish him. It's like the wrong franchise, but I love it, mate. Yeah, every game should say finish him. Finish him.
The way she listened made you want to tell her everything.
Knack 3. I saw that. Yeah, it's funny, man.
I got to look at her journal.
Knack 3.
The world was telling
troll.
her secrets. I think she even figured out what will happen to us.
Oh, okay.
When the season ends.
The chat's still hopeful.
Is it
Always
going?
hopeful. Always.
Keep the faith.
Is it gone?
Not yet.
世界中のゲーマーの皆さん、こんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田です。長らくお待たせいたしましたが、いよいよファイナルファンタジー16の最新情報をお届けする日がやってまいりました。最新のトレーラーとともにインタビューなども始まりますので、ぜひそちらも楽しみにお待ちください。今、世界には本当に様々な困難があります。僕らゲーム開発者にはゲームを一生懸命作るということしかできません。
Final Fantasy has still got some of the greatest sound, music and sounds I've heard in video games. I love the music in Final Fantasy.
It's been a while since I've played a Final Fantasy game. I think 7 was the last one I played. I was like on the original PlayStation.
I think my son done. He kept up with them where I sort of finished. I finished on 10, pretty much, and then we got the remake, obviously, of 7.
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. That its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Nice, Rocksteady.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I agree, Techno. There's nothing at the moment, I don't think, necessarily that would make a vast majority go, yeah, I need a PSVR 2 now. Not yet.
That we may bring an end to the strife.
But if it's coming out in 2023, there's still plenty of time for the hype.
Definitely.
Plenty of time.
But I think at least what they're showing us is that the quality of the games are going to be pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, out of half hour eyes, I think we'd be lucky to get 10 minutes, you know. Good start, promising.
Because what didn't they say in like a kind of investors call that there were 20 PSVR 2 launch titles?
Yes.
So it's just a small selection of them so far.
I just think, like, at the end of the day, this is a build-up. This is the start of a build-up. That's what I think this is.
We're still at least 6 months away, so.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred.
2 minutes.
For every home that burns,
a lot can happen in 2 minutes.
Built.
You know.
The Empire will live on.
Oh my god. That's a real deal, yeah. Imagine that. Oh, and here's the headset. Boom! With the prize.
Awaken, child of fate.
Come on. I don't mind Final Fantasy, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do the one last thing.
Unfortunately, we're here for the VR. Just the VR, really, to be honest. A lot. Spider-Man was good, but it's PC.
And that's a wrap. Don't forget to visit PlayStation blog to learn even more about today's announcements.
Straight in the heart. Straight in the heart with the no last thing. Oh, mate. Well. I do think that was pretty interesting, though. Do you know what I find the funniest thing is the whole Resident Evil 4 thing? Because it is almost like a slap in the face to Meta in a way. It's kind of like PlayStation, like, oh yeah. You made Resident Evil 4, did you? Yeah, well, so did we. but check this one out.
We've actually remade it,
yeah,
like completely graphically.
That's a really bold move.
Oh man!
And I'm happy to play through it again. But do you want me to recap the games that they announced?
Yeah, I'm just going to rewind it anyway, just play it in the background while we chat.
Okay.
Where was we? Because it's such a bloody short thing.
I wrote them down.
I just want to say, though, it started out so suddenly strong. Like, it was such a buzz. It was such a buzz. Like, it was insane for me personally. I was like, what the fuck? Like, because the leaks this was all at the end.
Yeah. So all the leaks were wrong, basically.
Basically. But yeah, let's do a bit of a recap. So hold on.
We know that PlayStation VR is getting a lot of zombie games. That's what we know.
There's a lot of death coming. So the date for Resident Evil 4 the remake is the 24th of March.
Interesting.
And it's said about PSVR. Is that going to be like a release date, do you think?
Dude, like, that's a long time away. That's a long time away. That's all I'm thinking right now. That is a year away, basically.
It is a long time. It is a long time. I think we should just put like our channels into like stasis.
Cryo freeze them.
Just freeze them. Come back. The 24th.
She says it was 24th of the 3rd. Yeah, 24th of March. Like, if that is the release date, wow. But then again, it could just be that there's launch titles and then this comes out later. But I think you're probably right. It might be around that time that the headset releases as well.
I seriously don't think. I think it's something like this. I do. I think it's going to be around this time. I don't think it's going to be at Christmas. Because at the end of the day, who would release a brand new headset at a time of year when no one's got any fucking money after Christmas? Like, January and February, I don't think, like, people I know, they're like, dude, I'm broke.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So actually, if there's any date that at the moment I'd shift all my chips on, it would be this one.
Yeah, no, I agree, actually. I agree. Yeah. Kind of sad, though. But I do think it's going to be worth the wait. But I think it's kind of interesting that we had Resident Evil 4 VR announced out the gates. And I think this is going to be one of those hybrid titles, right? It's going to be like, you're going to be able to play it flat, but you're also going to be able to play it in VR as well.
Did it say content?
They didn't specify that, but that's what I think.
I thought it said Resident Evil 4 content, VR content, or something. Like, I don't think. Do you think it's going to be a full VR game?
Yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah.
Hold on.
And that's the thing, because when we saw Resident Evil 8, they were showing clips of the game being played in VR. So yeah, I think again, hybrid. So you can play it in VR or you can play it out VR.
I could have swore I wore something like saw the word content or.
No,
because what you're saying is like I didn't get that. I saw people in the chat like, oh, meta, blah blah blah. Like you've just said what you just said, and I'm like, now my brain's like, hold on a minute, like hold on, wait. March 24th. Yeah.
So you think it's like a PSVR only thing?
Right. No. It's this PSVR2 content also in development. So I don't think it is the full. I don't think the remake is going to be a full VR game.
I think it will be.
Why does it say content?
I don't know. They worded it wrong. Maybe this is just my copium.
I'm in denial.
Maybe I am. But I just think, like it's smart. Let's be honest about it. Like Resident Evil 4 VR was the biggest seller for Meta of recent times.
With good reason.
So, if PlayStation do their take on Resident Evil 4 VR as well, smart move, I think, in my eyes. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 8, both being playable in VR, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I haven't actually.
PlayStation VR2 content also in development. Now let's get
it's the content again. I've played Resident Evil 7 and 8, both early mods, full mods now, and I'm still kind of waiting to want to play the whole bloody thing through. So this says in development for PSVR 2. I actually do think they know what they're saying.
You think it's going to be some like game mode?
I think Resident Evil 8 is going to be a brand new PSVR 2 release. Yeah? Yeah?
No.
Because you can already play it on PS5. Can't you? It's already there. It's already done. So
it's going to be an update. It's going to be a mode, update mode.
Okay.
For free.
Yeah,
it's going to be free though.
I hope it's free.
It's got to be free.
But I think Resident Evil 4 is going to be VR content.
So you think it's going to be some sort of crappy experience?
I didn't say crappy.
I say crappy. And I'll reiterate crappy as well, because if it's an experience, they can do one. It's got to be playable. The whole thing's got to be playable in VR. They've got to.
No, I don't think it will be, mate. Honestly, I don't.
But let's move on then, because this one will definitely be playable in VR, of course, and that's Walking Dead Retribution. We already know that's coming to PC. We already know it's coming to the Quest, but it's confirmed it's coming to PS5 and PSVR 2, which is smart because You know, that game looks amazing in all the trailers. I'm hyped for the new chainsaw. I think that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome.
Through waves of the undead with that is going to be brilliant. So yeah, The Walking Dead, you know, the first one was great. I'm sure the second one is going to be even better. So looking forward to that.
I can't wait to see the reactions people now outside of this community in our bubble that have just seen the Resident Evil 8 is in VR. Like, we got to remember the size and the impact we have to what's out there, and how, like, for example, have you ever stepped foot into like a brand new social circle and suddenly there's no one you know? There's communities are out there, loads of them, and I think Resident Evil 8 in VR is gonna I think at that point some people are like, what the fuck? I love that game. They probably don't know, and the only way of playing it at the moment would have been with a PC anyway. You'd have needed another VR headset. So
yeah, the only thing that concerns me though is because, like, you know, as much as I enjoyed the Resident Evil 8 Village mod from PreDog, I think he did a fantastic job. Had motion controls, so it pretty much is going to feel like that when we play the game on PSVR 2. Is that there's a lot of scripted sequences in that game that take control of the headsets, that your head camera basically.
Yeah.
So you're constantly in that game. You're constantly being thrown around the place by like tall vampire ladies, these dudes with massive hammers and stuff, and that can actually be really jarring and cause motion sickness. So I wonder how they're going to deal with that if they're bringing it in an official capacity to the game. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
How are you guys doing in the chat? Anything we should be jumping on? Do apologise. Several says, let's talk about it. No Gran Turismo.
No VR. Gran Turismo, dude. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised about that.
So what did we get on your list? Is that 3 things today?
Yeah, so Resident Evil 4 VR,
yeah.
Resident Evil 8 VR, Walking Dead Retribution, then
Horizon.
Next up is No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah? And then Horizon.
Horizon Call of the Mountain. Yeah.
So that's 5 things out of the 20 now that we know are PSVR 2.
Yeah.
The good thing is they're done now, and they're out there. So the next time we talk about VR, other things will happen. It's a long journey. Like we've just got into June, and if March is where it's at, as you said, it's almost like a year away.
It feels like a lifetime away.
It's a bloody long
It feels like a
time.
lifetime away, dude. But like, yeah, we're missing Astrobot, we're missing Firewall, we're missing Blood and Truth. Yeah, we're missing Gran Turismo, which I'm surprised about. 3. The other thing is that is kind of surprising is that they would announce 3 zombie games on the bounce. Kind of a bit unusual, right?
Yeah, like you said,
I love zombie games, but you know.
Thing is, first-person shooters and violence do sell. Like, that's what people want. They want to do that stuff. So,
yeah.
As I said, I seriously think there's going to be a huge. I mean, I might even just check out the hashtag. What's it doing? Is there any sort of hashtags trending at the moment?
But
is it
I think at least what they've shown us is that these games are going to look really good.
Yeah,
you know, they're gonna look really great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. The kind of quality that we can expect. So, you know, I'm happy with that.
We are, well, yeah, I'm happy. Games I'm all excited for. I was hoping for more. I never really had too much hopes on the Call of Duty thing. Killzone was literally a fantasy. I don't know who sparked that one, but when I heard it, I was like, that'd be great. But I very much doubted it.
You got me legit excited. Show talking about Killzone.
Yeah, I was saying that years ago, dude. I was like, when PSVR come out, I was like, Killzone's going to happen. 5 years later, still not happened.
Adrian Belzer in the chat says, I would have loved to see Half-Life Alyx on PSVR 2. Same, dude. Same.
You just got to be. It's the problem. You got to be so careful with possibly swapping your imaginary hype for facts and getting people thinking these things are happening.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard because there's.
But then again, on the flip side, you know, even on the flat side of gaming, there wasn't really anything like.
I would say actually, PSVR was the better half of the show.
I agree actually. You know, Stray, I'm excited for. Callisto Protocol, never seen that game before, but looks like Dead Space. Looks pretty good. So those 2 games, I think, out of the rest of the showcase, were the ones that kind of interested me. But yeah. I do agree that the VR show showcase part was stronger.
Yeah, it was always going to be hard to lead out so strong. It was always going to be a come down, basically.
I think as well, like we've got, like you say, we've potentially got another 6 months, if not more, 8 months. There's going to be a PSVR event at some point, isn't there?
Yeah, this is the warm up. This is
They're just warming us up.
They're just warming up. Do you know what though? Without trying to rush through it, Horizon now has just turned into what looks like a actual VR experience.
Yeah, totally.
Mean, that's
huge. I thought you was going to be in that little boat the whole way.
In
same
some
respects.
Yeah, you get you know, the thing steps over you, you feel it. You know, you go in the water and you feel stuff. I don't know, but today, what is there? A bow. There was
climbing.
The climbing, the hook,
zip lining,
the zip lining,
swimming. Yeah,
mounting. Yeah.
And the bow looks great. You know. And I think the scale, the whole scale of those machines is going to be phenomenal in VR. That's one thing that VR does really well, is that sense of scale and being in that environment. So, yeah, I think that game's going to be amazing, going toe to toe with some of those huge machines.
Yeah, whenever there's an excuse to, whenever I speak to them, if there's an excuse to add a moment to give someone some sort of scale experience, you definitely should, because, yeah, as you said, like, that is part of the magic of VR. And I don't know, I was speaking to you the other day, I was talking about a time I was at an event and there was like me and this other guy working together, and I thought I was the big person doing something, but it turns out I was actually the smallest person, and I was on a little boat on like a windowsill, and he was a massive giant. It was really weird. It was so weird to one.
It's almost like Fisherman's Tale.
Yeah, it was by them as well. I think it was
okay.
Vertigo and stuff. It was weird to think 1 minute I felt normal, and then suddenly I was actually tiny. Like it's so weird. Flat gaming can't do that.
No.
Flat gaming can't do that. Traditional. But yeah, guys, there it is. Thank you ever so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. There's no bullshit over here. It is what it is. And yeah, cheers. Thank you for watching. Mike,
yeah,
it's been awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to hang out. Yeah, so yeah, man. Thank you all for joining us. And yeah, leave a little like on this stream. Show GT some love.
Tickle the like.
Tickle the like.
Give it a tickle.
It's getting late here, so it's way past our bedtimes.
It is.
UK. It's almost midnight. We're old men. We need our beauty sleep.
These beards need rest.
Exactly, mate.
But yeah, I just want to read some of these things. So Ray Holder says that my takeaway is everything in development, so nothing exciting. Rock said, this is a great show, lads. Thank you ever so much for all the likes and also the super chat earlier.
Thank you, mate.
Virtual Steve, yeah, take care, man. Thank you for dropping in. DKR, it's not a 90-minute thing, man. No matter where you are, someone has to complain. Yes, it'll be, as I said, I think this is the first drop. I really do. But yeah, take care, guys. Thank you ever so much again, Mike. Cheers, dude, for hanging out.